Hello, welcome to episode 3 of Habibi Talks. I'm your host, Habibi, or just B for short. And this is a space where we keep our hands busy, our hearts open, and we let the conversation guide us. And when you're here, you're Habibi. Today I'm joined with Wahab.
Habibi,
Habibi,
how you
Wahab.
doing, my guy? I'm Wahhab. I'm an Egyptian rapper. I do a lot of other things. I would call myself a creative before I'm a rapper. You're about to find out all about me.
Beautiful, awesome. Well, Wahab, if you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to this point you are at right now.
Of course. I'm born and raised in Egypt. I moved to the United States around 2021. I've been making music for 8 years now. I make English and Arabic bilingual hip hop. I focus on lyricism, I would say, and just it took me time, of course, to develop my writing skills to where they are now. But 100% lyricism has always been a thing. Even if you'll go back to my first songs, you would see that.
Beautiful. So I want to talk about your origin, where this all started. I want you to take me and anybody watching inside your head for a little bit. When did you find out that this is the path you wanted to start?
When did I find out this is the path I wanted to go with? Is when I released my first song, or when I had my first ever song finished, or maybe I should say my second song. The first one was good and did convince me that okay, yeah, I'm good at this. But the second song convinced me, oh, I'm good at this. So that first song that I have out actually is only out on Anghami. If you know Anghami, if you don't, you probably won't. But if you do, it's like the music player for the Middle East. There with Spotify and others. And other than that, it's nowhere to be found. My second song is the first song you would find on Spotify. It's my oldest song on Spotify. My oldest song on the all DSPs is when I learned how to distribute my music, how I do today. So yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, actually, let me get a little more in depth about kind of my story. I started by growing a passion for English and poetry when I was in Egypt. I really loved the language, fell in love with it through TV, movies, and decided I wanted to learn it. I also thankfully was at a pretty good school that helped me a lot with that, and we had like some poetry clubs that I joined. So I fell in love with the poetry of it, and I fell in love with the writing and certain poetic schemes, and also I pull a lot from Arabic poetry and kind of the styles in Arabic poetry and like just the two different poetic tools. And then it evolved into music one by one. I would say kind of it started by me and my friends writing some short disses about each other. We'd have like, yo, you got 10 minutes of this about him, 10 minutes of this about him. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'm actually good at this. I'm actually good at rapping, on a beat and stuff. I enjoyed it. That's where I kind of started experimenting with my first song. And then as soon as I finished my first song, I could instantly recognize what was wrong and then went to the second song. And I would say that second song, until today, it's some people's favorite song I've ever made. And people still listen to it. And it's up there with my highest plays and my highest stream numbers. So happy with it, yeah.
Awesome. Now you said that you noticed that you were good at your music writing and the way you sang the beat. Was there any artist that inspired you to go towards rap, or was it kind of a friend thing?
The person that we all pull from, and especially at that time in his style of writing, it's Eminem, man. Mm-hmm. The way he wrote, the way he uses internal rhymes, he's unbelievable. And until today, I still study how he wrote, and I still try to not, of course, implement it exactly, but take the aspects of it and use it for inspiration for my own writing. And so I would say it has to be Eminem. Yeah, I love a lot of other artists. I would say J. Cole, but even J. Cole would tell you Eminem. Like, that's the thing. Like, so everybody it all goes back to how the modern rap became and just lyricism has become after the old school wave. So.
Did you face any struggles when you first started?
I mean, yeah, of course, marketing shit, I would say until today, it still is something that I am working on. It is, I've always believed that my music is so good, but how do I get it out to the people? And this is something that I'm always thinking about, always working. That's why currently I study music business. I'm getting a degree. I'm actually graduating in a couple of months. And thank you. And yeah, so just getting my marketing together, I would say that's my biggest struggle. I've never struggled creating music, never struggled creatively. I always have new thoughts, and I'm always working on everything. When it comes to, for example, mental health, I wouldn't call them struggles. Yeah, I have. I know my brain works differently, is how I like to call it. I have ADHD, and sometimes the ADHD comes with some insomnia. Actually, the first song that I was telling you, well, actually, the second song I was telling you about kind of tackles that a little. I don't mention insomnia, but the song is called No Sleep. And it's me just, I use those though as tools. For me, they never hinder me. They actually push me to become. Like for me, I always think of ADHD, especially ADHD, as a superpower when used right. Yeah, of course, it has some downsides, but also the upsides are unbelievable and unmatched. And if you use them right and actually channel them and stop thinking of it as something that's bad, you'll be able to do so much with your life. At least myself, that's how I was telling myself, and since then, never looked back. So.
That's very interesting, actually. That's beautiful. The way you have your outlook on your insomnia and your ADHD, you kind of used it more as a weapon than it was as a downfall. When did you find out that these insomnia and ADHD that you have could be used for good instead of trying to numb it with, like nowadays, a lot of people do struggle from it and they decide to not deal with it. You kind of decided to make it your weapon. When was that shift? When did that happen?
I would say it actually happened at a pretty young age, thankfully. So I wasn't professionally diagnosed, or let me repeat that. I was diagnosed by my parents, but they never told me when I was very young. And then I had to go through life not knowing what was wrong with me, even though they knew. I'm not blaming them, by the way. They tried everything, and thankfully I came out to be a great human being, and I still love them. They support me until today. But the reason I'm saying that is because I didn't know, so I dove into psychology and I fell in love with psychology and I started studying it on my own time to learn what I have and kind of self-diagnose, which is very, very risky. I do not tell anybody to ever do that because it took me through a very tough path before I actually found out where I was and what was actually going on in my brain. I felt like I almost put myself into some hard traps, and the brain will believe what it leads to believe itself. So for a while, I told myself that I had some other things. I don't want to get into detail, and kind of messed up my brain in a way that I wouldn't recommend on anybody until I finally found out what was actually going on and like learned my brain. Had some therapy when I was a little like a little older and mature, and became better through that. But not through therapy itself, but through understanding ADHD. And I always call ADHD a superpower because while yes, 100% it comes with some of the like downfalls or downsides that are obvious to some people, but what comes with it as well is that hyperfocus. If you're able to master hyperfocus, you can learn anything in a matter of weeks better than people that have been doing it for years, because of also how you implement creativity. Because of all that, you are able to create in short time. But as long as you are able to manage that hyperfocus, as long as you're able to manage that creativity, you will be you'll be good as a person with ADHD. Just manage your life well. It's not easy. I say that like it's easy right now. I'm still working on it, but I know how to channel the good parts at least. The bad parts I'm still working on. But yeah.
You said a couple amazing things in there. I wanted to touch on how are you feeling right now? How are you feeling talking about your experiences? Is that something you kind of wear it with pride now, seeing how you've been through them, or is it kind of something you shy away from?
No, I do always, especially when I wouldn't say I talk about everything that I've been through, but when it comes to ADHD, I do love to talk about my perspective on it because I believe that saved me. For a while, I was, oh my God, something is wrong for my brain. I need to find out what it is. I obsessively started learning psychology as a kid, and that was also in a time where my brain was very futile. My brain was very weak. I was like around 14, 15, so not developed, I mean. So I kind of like once I found out the power of ADHD, it changed my perspective about how I see my brain and how I act with my brain and how much I love my brain. So that is the one thing that I'm always very vocal about, is because a lot of people, oh, I have ADHD, and they use it as an excuse. I'm like, oh, you lucky bastard, you have ADHD. That's like, we are blessed, man. And people just need to learn how to use it as a weapon instead of using it as a crutch.
That is deep.
Mhm.
You said earlier, I wanted to touch on that. You said that you used it to hyper focus. Nowadays, we have a lot of things that steal our focus.
Mm.
TikTok, Instagram, social media.
Mhm.
Everybody's just 5 minutes, 5 seconds, and then they lose focus.
Mhm.
Are you finding it hard to struggle with your work nowadays with all these distractions?
Yes and no. I do have a social media problem, like all of us. I do think it is the worst addiction epidemic to have happened in years, worse than any drug epidemic, worse than so much. It's unbelievable how dangerous it is and how silent everybody is about it and how it's on. I see it on almost everybody. I don't want to say everybody because I know people, a few people that are kind of trying to save themselves.
Yep.
But even every like so yes, of course there I do, but I do know that it's an issue at least, and I'm trying to always mitigate it. But also when I'm in that hyper focus, you can't take my distraction away. There's no taking my distraction away. So yeah, the thing about hyper focus is it comes and goes. I try to maintain it so I don't burn out, but hyper focus, if you don't use it right, it burns you out. And but when I'm in that hyper focus, there's no distracting me. All I think about is I want to be doing something. I need to be on that project that I'm working on right now. But when it comes to the distractions on my when I'm burnt out, but I go into the dopamine scroll and I just and fall on it, you know. So I'm still kind of trying to manage my life where I'm not only hyper focused all the time, and I'm not only like in that burnout phase. I'm trying to not burn out this time. I have a lot that I'm working on, and hopefully I don't. Let's hope. Hopefully, I think I've done it.
Knock on wood.
Yep, exactly. But in general, I am. Yeah, of course, distractions they try to come, but like when I'm focused, when I'm locking in on a product that I love, I forget everything. I always have TV going on in the background. Like I have multiple screens going on. Don't get me wrong. I am still crazy, but at the same time, I don't. I'm not like getting distracted. I'm having them as a background, so to bounce off my attention, not to distract me. If that makes sense.
Yes. I know we talked a little bit off camera about your projects, and they seem pretty amazing. Have a lot of fun projects, a lot of plans. Are you able to, how do I say this? Not in a, if you say you hyper focus, are you able to still maintain your mental health while hyper focus on all these projects without really? I know you say that you don't burn yourself out. You take your time to break.
No, I do. I'm trying not to, but I do burn myself out, and I'm trying to get out of this loop without burning myself out. But sorry, keep it going with the question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, actually, yeah. Well, I kind of see where your question is going. Is when I am hyper focused, do I keep my mental health? I would say my mental health is at its best when I'm hyper focused. That's when I'm most passionate. That's when I'm most happy. Time flies when I'm working on something I'm focused on. Like for me, I've been working on those products, and we'll mention those products in a second. But I've been working on so much stuff for the past month that I've been having to close my laptop manually just because I need to go to sleep. I need to get up and eat. I need to do something other than work. So it's for me. I don't think it makes me happy. I was kind of born a workaholic, but also I wouldn't say born a workaholic. ADHD turned me into a workaholic. So let me explain on that a little bit.
Yes, sir.
So as ADHD, we know that it's attention deficit hyperactivity, and this is what I'm going to focus on in a second. Disorder. I don't like the disorder part. It's not a disorder, but hyperactivity. So I found out at a young age, okay, I never want to sit down. I always want to be doing something. So why don't you use that hyperactivity and throw it into work? And that's why I started working when I was in Egypt at like 17 years old. And since then, I've been working full time, plus doing everything for my personal projects, plus school, plus all that. So I like, especially the hyperactivity, I kind of as a child coded it into workaholism. I would try not to get too obsessed about my work, but also, or at least work in general. But when it's my work, I am super obsessed. Like I try not to obsess over work for somebody else, but my work, I am at least currently very obsessed about it. And I don't mind that. I'm 24 years old. This is the time to be obsessed about what I want to do with my music. So
Absolutely. Yes. I did want to touch on you work in a lot of projects. You overwork yourself. Has your project hit a wall that you've been doubtful about?
Oh, one half so many times. I've hit so many walls, jumped over so many walls, broke so many walls, and stopped in front of so many walls throughout my life. And as long as you either keep going and make sure that you are trying to either find a way around that wall, or in my case, just go on a whole different road, look for a different wall to find. Just because like I love jumping between different products and all that. For example, my most recent wall that I've hit, and I would say finally kind of found a way around that wall. Not exactly how I want it, but I would say that that wall was absolutely in here. I put that wall myself. It is my merch. As you can see, we got the bucket hats, we got the shirts, and there's a lot more. You can check it all out on wofficial.com. This is a mix of the hyperfocus part and all that, so I'll tell you both. I built this whole website with the designs, all that. That's all. I did that myself, and I did it in a matter of a week and a half, 2 weeks, and with not a lot of sleep at all, and a shit ton of hyperfocus, but it was worth it until I reached Khalas. Everything was built on the website, everything was built with the merch, everything was designed the way I wanted it to. I'm ready to release, I'm ready to start selling. The online store in the US and globally is working, but I also wanted to make production in Egypt where it's like the price is a lot better, because it has, so that's why I had to make it locally in Egypt, so they're not waiting for international shipping, and they're not waiting for they're not paying like because if you convert anything into dollars, it goes crazy. So I was trying to get that production in Egypt, and I had a like that wall that faced me. I kind of put myself based on my own perfectionism and my own, no, this is how I want it to work, and I don't agree. I want it to work this way, and I was like stuck in my ways, and been stuck for 6 months until honestly, literally last night is when I was talking to a friend of mine. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, finally, it's time. I was so it was a small decision that I had to make that would just allow me to finally move ahead. But I would say also God's timing is great, because right now I have the tools to market it the way I want to. I'm in a way better place because of the other projects I'm working on to kind of get over that wall now. So those walls come, like I said, that was 6 months ago when I designed all of that, created all of that, and then I've been crashing on it, sleeping on it, just a website floating around on the web without any activity, because I'm not promoting it because of that wall that I put for myself. It wasn't even a real wall. I knew the answer then, but I chose not to go with it because of my perfectionism, and I realized that was a self-placed wall. And of course, you'll face other walls. It's all about being adaptable and finding a way that works. And perfectionism is not a bad thing. Perfection is also the reason that my art is the way it is. But at the same time, make sure that it's not stopping you. It's only enforcing you. And sometimes you'll have to release something that is not perfect for the next one to be perfect.
That's beautiful. Well, you said until last night, that's when you found out. Maybe you should give yourself a break and just go with it. Other than just your work, has your perfectionism affected you in other aspects of your art?
Yes. So it not in a bad way, I would say. I would say my perfectionism has never made me, like, for example, not release a song that was good that I believe should have been released and wasn't. Yeah, of course, there are songs that could have been released, but I still stand by the decision of not releasing them. So while they are better than what would most people, what most artists are creating right now, at least in my opinion, I hold myself to my own standards. I don't hold myself to a standard of anybody else. I believe what I'm trying to do nobody is doing right now. While there are bilingual like pop artists in the scene in the Arabic market right now, there are all that kind of people. They're all doing it in pop and R&B. Nobody's really doing it with lyricism. Nobody's really doing it like hip hop. They're all bred, like most of their target market is women and girls, which is not wrong, I would say, and that's actually the best way to kind of get famous. But that's not my target market when it comes to rap, as rap is mainly a male dominated audience. 60-40, it's not like crazy, but still.
Mhm.
It's a very different branding, a very different style. And so nobody's really doing what I'm doing. And that wouldn't stop. Like, that's how I would do. And I would always keep making sure that I hold myself to my own standard. I don't compare myself to others. And I don't, I might take inspiration from others, but yeah, I would never compare myself to anybody. I think I'm better than most. I do think I have what it takes to become the best artist in the Middle East, the best rapper in the Middle East. When it comes to visual identity, when it comes to lyricism, when it comes to all that, well, let me pay my respects when it comes to lyricism to one person that I believe I will not surpass, but the rest I do believe I'm better. It's hard to say that on camera, but that's what I believe. Abusive is the only person that I do believe is elite, and his writing is, for me, he's at a different level. He's an unbelievable new artist. But myself, I don't believe there's anybody better than me in writing. I do believe that I am the creative visuals that I will be able to do this year will be unbelievable, and I'll finally be able to kind of fix my visual identity, fix my social media, and yeah, this is the year, man. This is the year.
Beautiful. I love the passion you have. You have a lot of passion for it. This is amazing. It's very inspiring to see an artist right here that's willing to have so much passion for his art and craft. You said two things that were very interesting. So no one does it like you do, and your marketing this year is you got a plan for your marketing and your projects. I wanted to dive on your art, your lane. Nobody does it like you do. Have you been finding that a little stressful since you're kind of pioneering this craft? You know, other artists, they kind of follow in footsteps where other artists have laid the path for them, so it's a lot easier. Has that been a really big struggle?
100%, man. Without an idea, I feel like I've placed a weight on my back, and it was like I chose that way. I was like, yes, give me. I put it on my own back, and yes, I'm kind of, I would say, starting like I'm pioneering my own genre in a way, where it's like it is Arabizi. We call Arabizi, which is Arabic and English. It's the Spanglish version. Sorry. Actually, do you want to wear the bucket hat? Yeah, I'll talk about the merch more in a second. I'll talk about the merch more in a second. But I would be pioneering my own genre in a way, and that means I'm creating my own target audience, and I'm creating something that's still not being done. And that's in one aspect when it comes to my music. Now, with my visuals, as you saw my first post a few days ago,
looking beautiful,
of my creative AI direction, I have characters for those, and though that was all, again, something that isn't being done. No artist, whether professional, amateur, at least that I've seen, is doing anything like this yet. And also I have other things that I want to do. So yes, I'm trying to break rules in every way, but that's how my brain works. What can I say? I have a vision. I do think there is no reason it won't work. And I've been my only obstacle my whole life. My consistency, my work ethic, I would say. Not that I don't have work ethic, but because I take a lot, then I burn out, like we were talking about a few minutes ago. So, and then I go into that deep burnout phase. So I've always been my only obstacle, but I believe that vision to create what hasn't been done, absolutely possible. And I have, thankfully, because of ADHD, and I repeat, ADHD is a superpower. Because of hyperfocus, I learn tools and new stuff like this. The past few days, once I'm passionate about it, I don't get to choose what I'm passionate about, but once I am, there's no stopping me. So that's just how my brain works, and that's how I am, man. So yeah,
that's beautiful. You know, one thing you said there that didn't really quite make sense to me is you said you stand in your own way, but then you said ADHD helps you hyper focus. How do those two things collide? How do you stand in your way but yet still get so much done? Where do you think you got in your way?
Like I said, myself, I put myself an obstacle in my brain. The obstacle was placed because of perfectionism and because of like how much effort I put into this. And at the time, that's how I was thinking. I wanted it to be everything about it professional, the way it should be. But there are obstacles that are absolutely out of my control, and I should have found a workaround. that was going to work, and that's how most people are working nowadays in Egypt. But I just decided not to. I decided to, and I kept it in my mind and had to push everything back. And it's kind of been floating. It's a lot. I have a lot on my plate that I want to do for you guys, and it will all come one by one, inshallah.
It's beautiful. So we were reaching the 25-minute mark. We're going to go on a quick break. While we do that, we're going to show you a clip of his animation. So we just watched the video. The animation is pretty cool. It's pretty fun. You want to dive a little more about that and how you see it going?
Yes. So I just kind of started my work as I would say the best way to put it is an AI creative director. Is while creating those visuals, I have so much stuff planned. By the way, a lot of the stuff I'm gonna tell you in this interview is exclusive. I haven't even told my own fans yet. So yes, so I'm gonna tell you kind of what I have envisioned right now. Might change, might not, but this is how I see this year going on.
Beautiful.
So yes, 100% I will be now using AI to enhance my visual identity. I've always kind of struggled with my visual identity when I was creating videos face to camera and like creating the kind of promo I need for marketing. As an artist nowadays, you have to be vigorously marketing and have to be creative with it, and it's just not something I'm passionate about, creating visuals in front of camera. But that kind of AI creative director, I'm actually very passionate about. It's a lot more work. I would say it's not even less work, it's a lot more work, but at the same time it shows my brand the way I want to show it, and for me that's more important than just like releasing videos for the sake of releasing videos on socials for the reason of going viral. No, I want to create a universe for my fans, for the people that are on my channels. I want to show them that there's a certain artistic style. It's unique. It's one of a kind. And yeah, I started with this animation style. I have two characters. One is called Wahhab. The other one is called W. Wahhab is the artist. He's the creative. He's also arrogant. Yeah, so they both have downsides and upsides, of course. Well, he's the arrogant one. He hates systems. He hates being organized, very unorganized. But at the same time, that unorganization is where he gets his inspiration from artistically. And then the other side is W, where he's actually more anxious and he's more like paranoid when you first look at him, but at the same time he is the one that runs the business. He is the one that is the business mind. He is the creative. He is like, he does so much. The different, he is the one that does the merch, anything business side. Like W is the business name, and he'll always represent what I do that isn't necessarily artistic, but is to promote that artistry. And so they work together. It's the dynamic between them that will thrive. I decided to use animation to work with them. I actually found an even better way to create them than what I am using right now, but that one will take me a little time to learn, because I will be actually using like Blender, the actual like platform that people use to animate games and to animate movies. There's a way now to implement AI into that to create 3D models of my characters, so they'll actually be 100% consistent in how they look, how they act. Their whole 360 is going to be perfect, and they're always going to be the same. But like I said, this will take time. I'm doing all this to eventually work on a series. Now this is the part that I'm telling you. This nobody. I'm not talking like that. Don't tell nobody about this yet. It's exclusive for the people that watch the interview fully. It's is that I'm creating that series to but as a dynamic between them. So Wahab and W, there are going to be two characters that jump into my brain and navigate my brain through depression. Each part of the brain is going to actually represent an actual part of the brain, because I am very passionate about psychology. I used to love psychology, like we talked, when I had to kind of self-diagnose, and early on I fell in love with psychology, and I got into the how the brain works. So I decided to, if I'm going to do this series, I'm going to do it actually in that way, where I'm actually talking about actual brain pieces and functioning, and why they're currently not functioning because of either depression or because how ADHD is affected them should be obvious, but also not like I wouldn't explain it to anybody. It will be kind of just, yeah, this is the brain on ADHD. I'll try to make it obvious for people. It's of course it's a big project. It's gonna take me time to work on. But that's kind of what started that animation series and what got me into it early on. I just realized because of how long it's gonna take, I can't wait until it's ready to start putting out content.
No.
So I'm mixing up the content with the visualizers, or I call them the visual fragments that I'm creating for my songs, and other ways I'll be implementing AI, and then other ways that I'll be making those series into just a world around Wahab and W, and introduce them to my character and all that. So my characters, I mean, yeah.
Wahab and W, you said of a lot of amazing things, a lot of things I want to dive in.
Of course.
First off, I'm pretty sure everybody and myself agree that the animation is beautiful. It's just the way it is, the colors, it's so warm, it's very uniquely yours.
Mm-hmm.
And what tools did you use to create that? As we know, AI, when you ask it to do something, it adds an extra finger.
Mm-hmm.
It's messing up. A lot of AIs are trying to do good, but they're really messing up. Or your videos are beautifully done, professionally done, if I may add.
Thank you.
What tools did you use to get that?
So first, I want to actually clear up something. AI has gotten a lot better than it was 6 months ago. I actually experimented with this idea 6 months ago, and if you go down deeper into my reels, you will see a video or a couple of videos I made using AI early on when I first decided to kind of animate Wahab and W.
Yeah.
And it was, if you see the involvement that the tools have made in 6 months, that was 6 months ago. That was also around the time I was creating the merch. The tools have evolved a lot, and now the tools I use is Nano Banana Pro to create photos. I make sure if you look at every photo, you will see the details that I'm using. Everything has to do with with my brand. Like for example, in this scene, you have the feather that's currently also the same quill that is on my bucket hat. Everything has kind of like Easter eggs or stuff that's very detailed in it. So I make sure I put my perfectionism to good use without letting it stop me from posting.
Beautiful.
To create those visuals. That's why they look as good as they do. It's not like me writing a prompt for AI and that comes out. I promise you, it took me hours and hours to learn how to do it and to actually do it. So yeah, it's Nano Banana Pro is the tool I use to create those photos, and then from those photos, there's now tools that you are able to capture motion sync in order to put it on a character. And that uses mainly the tool that I use for that is called Kling 2.6. It's not perfect yet, 100%. That's why I want to jump into Blender, like I was talking with the animated series, in order to actually make that even a lot better. But like I said, this will take me time to learn and to implement, and this will be mainly used eventually with the series. But I will also, once I've mastered it, I'll also of course use it for the content as well. So yeah, there's the AI tools are unbelievable. To be honest, fear for the people that I know that are like learning animation and so on. I actually want to go ask them, kind of, guys, I don't need you. Like I'm creating a whole world, and I don't think I need you. What's your plan? What do you want to do? Because right now, even on Blender, and the reason I want to use Blender is because it has AI rigging. So what that means is I can create a model also using AI. I'll create a 3D model. I'll give it the pictures of the characters that were already created. It will make them into a 3D model. And then Blender has now a tool where you can also do the same motion sync, where you will it will watch a video, apply the motion sync you done to a skeleton, and you could apply it to whatever 3D model you want. At least that's what I've learned so far. Like I said, I still haven't even kind of touched, I haven't downloaded even Blender yet, but I watched the videos to see how possible it will be, and I won't be releasing anything until I am creating it at a professional level, because that's the standard I hold myself up to. But that all gives me the tools to create that universe I want to create for my fan base and for my artistry in general.
It was beautiful. Thank you so much for walking us through the process. That was amazing. Those are a little sweet gem here.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a kind of person that hates gatekeeping, man. I don't understand it. I don't understand gatekeeping, to be honest. Tools are out there for us to use them. And if you use it better than I did, it's because I didn't use it good enough.
Absolutely.
So I'm always willing to share tools. I teach people stuff. I hope they teach me back. And whatever I can benefit anybody, I try to. So.
Something really amazing. And I don't know, I kind of felt like a kid watching a whole new cartoon kind of just being developed in front of me. You said Wahab and W are going to be your two people that are going to be navigating towards your brain. Can you explain that a little deeper? Wahab, you said, is going to be the little misfit, the dude that does whatever he wants, and then W is the guy that's a little follower, a little anxious. Are those two people characters in you that you feel like you want to give them life, or are they kind of fictional and you want to give them their own personal personality?
No, 100%. I think that duality is a big part of me. I am very creative, but I'm also very business oriented. I have both sides where I'm very arrogant and I'm very anxious at the same time. Like I believe in my artistry very much. I believe that I am one of the best. I've already mentioned it in this interview. One of the best, if not the best writer in the Middle East. And I believe my creativity is unmatched when it comes to anything else. But I just didn't have the tools to create it, and now I do. Like, yeah, sorry, I kind of forgot your question, but in general, it's just me.
Absolutely, no worries.
Yeah, it's just me, implementing my vision and to create that universe.
Absolutely. To help you remember
Yeah, please, sorry.
I was just asking you, are the two Wahab and W, are they two split personalities in you, or are they two fictional personalities you've created?
I wouldn't say necessarily split personalities. Yeah, I'll touch again on the mental health part I was talking about. So remember when I said I kind of dove into, when I was younger, before I actually found out it's ADHD and its powers, kind of dove into a lot of paths that took me into like dark places. I kind of thought I had a split personality disorder and kind of did that for myself without realizing, and probably like placeboed my way into something that isn't split personality disorder, but is my understanding of split personality disorder at that age. That kind of, I would say, is the core of it. When I was younger, maybe I'm kind of like theoretically, I don't know if that's the reason, but overall, I've been kind of doing those Wahab and W characters for a while. Wahab, by the way, I forgot to mention that Wahab speaks Arabic, W speaks English. So that's another part of their duality where they are kind of they're the both sides of me, the Egyptian side and the American side, the business oriented side and the artistic side. They are kind of, yes, aspects of my personality that I've chose to implement on the characters. I wouldn't say that I necessarily, thankfully, a long time ago where I got rid of that like image in my mind that I actually have the two personalities in my head, but they are two sides of me. And I also only work in extremes, and that goes in good and bad way. So I'm either extremely confident in myself or extremely anxious about something else. I'm only extremely artistic and extremely business. I have no middle point. So that's kind of where the inspiration comes from.
Beautiful. Now, one thing you also touched on that is really interesting. You said your universe. You want to create a universe. As a new listener, how do you want me to experience your universe?
So I understand that right now I don't have the huge fan base that is coming in. So any new listener, I want them to come in and feel that they're already late. Everything here is already set up the way more than any artist has their stuff set up. Like nobody's doing series like that. Nobody's doing characters like that. I want to do it in depth. I have the tools now to finally release more videos and work on more stuff. So that is I want everybody to come in to see my visual identity and that universe I'm talking about. It already exists. It's not building, of course. Right now I'm still building. So if you're joining me now, you will see me as I am creating it, but also you're missing out on a lot of music that's already been released. I'm trying to get my visual brand to match that music and to kind of be on the same quality level as my music. So yeah, it's pretty much a new listener. I want them to come in and see, oh God, this might be a young artist that still hasn't like grew out of his shell that's coming out, but at the same time, he has everything set up. The merch is ready. The characters are ready. Everything is ready. The music is already there. stuff like that. So yeah.
Or I feel like you have grown out your shell. Everything you said right now is not something that someone that's still in the shell would do. Your wisdom is beyond your years.
Thank you. And maybe yes, as in my mind, but what I do and what is real, what I believe, and what is on paper is two different things. And today, people only care about what's on paper. Yeah, of course, they might care about the idea behind it all and everything, but the numbers aren't there yet. And at the end of the day, I'm not making money off of it. I'm still spending money. So once I have grown as an artist with when I mean grown, I don't mean grown as me, age in the art world doesn't really matter. Even though I always have that concern that my turn has passed, but I also have that, but I also know that I will get my turn. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like it's the existential crisis of every 20-something-year-old in the early 20s. You know, you get into that where you're still not sure what you need to be doing. You're still not, you know. So I'm working on it. Want to create it for them, and for it to be just covering everything. I want to have better visuals than anybody, and I want to also have hands in everything. I want to be able to do it all myself, even if once I grow, I don't have to, and I can hire people to do stuff for me, and of course I will. But for now, I want to at least know the basics and set my standard myself. So once I hire people, they can only elevate where I go, not like kind of create something new for me. They don't need to. And that's also why I'm studying music business, is because, like, for example, I always say that to anybody I see around school, is that I chose music business instead of, for example, recording arts or production, because I know very talented producers that are passionate about producing. I know very talented engineers that are passionate about engineering. Nobody's gonna run my business for me. Nobody's gonna do this stuff for me. And nobody's gonna be as passionate about it as I am. But the rest, they're passionate about their vision. They're passionate about their engineering. They're passionate about production. So I can hire these people and still make sure that they get the quality they want. But for me to hire somebody to promote me, to market me, to care about my brand more than I will, doesn't make sense. And I need to know every aspect of it, legality and stuff. So once I hire people for the legal stuff and the money stuff and all that, I already know what's going on, and they're not like they'll be able to explain anything to me without needing to use baby terms. I already know the terms that needs to be used, and I know what they're doing. They won't take actions that I don't understand, because I understand everything about the business.
You know, I can really see your perfection side really show up in a not in a bad way. It's just in a beautiful way. You don't want to go in business not knowing anything about business.
Mm-hmm.
You want to walk in knowing exactly what to do. You want to know the big terms. That's beautiful. Now, if you said you want to start hiring people, you said you want to start marketing. If we just dream for a little bit, now you got your first, let's say, sponsorship. How are you going to market your songs? How will you market your show?
Right now, I don't think I need to hire people. All I need is to stop working a job that isn't artistic, is to start making money off of my art and out of my creativity. Because right now I'm very happy doing everything. I'm implementing. Maybe I might add somebody to do some certain stuff that isn't as creative for me. But I don't really necessarily want anybody on my team, or maybe what I need on my team right now is like a videographer, stuff like that, not necessarily somebody business related in general. But yeah, I think I'm very happy doing everything right now. I'm, like I said, I'm a perfectionist, so anybody that will work with me, it's not easy. I'm sorry. I'm very detailed. I have certain vision that I'm always trying to implement. So I'm more comfortable to do the work myself instead of asking somebody to do it for me, because the way my brain operates, I'm very random. I work at random times, and I have an idea, and as soon as I have that idea, I want to implement it now. I hate waiting. To be honest, something I'm working on. I'm not patient. I need to build more patience, especially with people, but also for my own art and my own everything. But yeah, other than that, it's just me. I love doing it myself right now. I'm enjoying it. I just need to have more time to do more of it, because I have so much planned. Like I said, it's right now the merch is finally gonna be available in Egypt very soon, and we'll talk about the merch in a second. The all those visualizers that I'm already creating without Blender, and then getting into that Blender universe and getting that series out. Probably the series, by the way, I don't assume it will be out before the summer. and I'm not trying to get it out before the summer because I'm a perfectionist, and I have already 3 seasons written out of how I want them to go, what parts of the brain, what's their final objective. I kind of have the 3 seasons already written out. It's gonna be, they're not big seasons, 7 episodes every season, 5 minutes each. And each episode will also feature one of my old songs because that's a way to kind of market my old music, because I believe I have a lot of very good old music that I've been just throwing into a void, and people can revisit. And also, no matter how much you grow, one of your songs is always new to somebody. Like, for example, even if you know J. Cole, you haven't listened to all of his music. And if you listen to an old song of his, for you, it's a new song. For somebody new, it's a new song that they can get hooked to, they can get addicted to, relate to. So I want to use that to kind of promote my music. That's why this series kind of came to fruition, is for me that it is still, of course, 100% related to my music world, 100% related to those characters, also its own thing on its own. So it's kind of everything.
That's beautiful. You said early on, you said you have experience with AI. You've played with your series, but then you left it, and then this year you want to come back to it. What was the reason that you left it?
If tools were incredible, the tools weren't good enough. If you scroll down to the video that had like even lip sync and the stuff at the time, you'll see the eyes were glitching like crazy, the face was glitching like crazy. I was like, cool concept, but it's not there yet, and it wasn't at the quality of that I wanted it to be at the time. Now even still has some glitches, hopefully glitches that jumping onto Blender will fix, but even the video like I created for me 100% was not close to like perfect animation. Of course not nothing close to it, but it's good enough to release. It was definitely good enough with the tools that I can have right now. And it's once I found out that like the tools that were out, and especially that motion sync with Kling, once I found out that tool is available, I was like, okay, it's time to jump back into this and to get this brand moving again. Because again, I was talking my visual identity, I never liked it with face to camera stuff, and me like creating like the regular content that people are releasing right now on socials. It's just not me, and not passionate about it, and I don't think I'll stand out with it. But this will 100% make me stand out.
Can I ask why you don't think that'll make you stand out?
I don't think I have the passion to learn it. I tried. Like I said a while ago, I can't hyper-focus on something I'm not passionate about. And I only can do that with something that I'm 100% convinced with and passionate about. Where when it comes to content creation, there's so many different ways to go. And yeah, of course, I'm not saying that my face will never be on camera again, 100%. I still have to give that human aspect to the people. And even some of the AI stuff I will use will be me on camera, but the background changes, stuff like that. But I don't want to be I don't want to. I forgot what the question was.
Why don't want to post yourself based on cameras?
I'm just not good at it. I would say I tried it. I've been working. I'm just not that good at it, at least relatively to how other people's are doing it. And I don't have the passion to learn it the same way I do. And unfortunately, I can't force the hyper focus to work. I only get hyper focused when I'm passionate about something, and it has to happen on its own again for portion. And that's why I had to follow my artistic career, because my brain won't let me do anything else. It literally just with ADHD, you got something called paralysis, ADHD paralysis, where if you're not passionate about something and you lose interest, you don't want to do it and you won't do it. Like there's literally no way that you force your brain to do it, at least in a way that is good enough to first of all keep doing consistently, and also that is like you won't be so passionate to learn that the perfectionism. I won't be as perfectionist as I am with the stuff that I'm passionate about.
Because perfectionism. Yeah, especially if you don't have the passion for it, it's really hard to even get into it.
Exactly.
But
thankfully, I'm a passionate person. I do have a lot of passions, and I'm passionate about a lot of stuff, so I get to learn a lot of stuff. So again, ADHD is not. It has its way to navigate, and that hyper focus needs navigation. But once you learn how to navigate it,
awesome. That is awesome. Was it my move or your move? I don't remember.
You moved twice, I moved 3. So yours. Oh no, actually, no. I moved twice. Oh yeah, I moved 3. You moved.
Okay, because I last I remember I moved the horse.
Yeah.
And boom.
Boom.
That was it. So I got. You said your music. You had old songs. You don't want to throw away your old songs.
Yes, I feel like I've been uploading a lot of very good music that have been not promoted well. One, because of me not giving them enough time to promote, I would say, and not being passionate about a way to promote them. And then also, uh, in the industry isn't easy. A lot of people are uploading. There's over 100K songs that come up to Spotify every day on average.
Wow.
So uploading music isn't enough. And like I said, people can go back to listen to that old music and it's still new to them. Doesn't mean I'm not releasing new music. A lot of new music is already scheduled and written and ready to be released this year, of course, alongside all the other products. But I will only like kind of make sure that it has the right marketing around it.
It's beautiful. I know we touched on marketing, but we didn't really fully dive into it yet. Did you want to dive into how you want to market exactly? What's your plan for marketing a song? Or are you gonna use your visuals for that?
Yeah, pretty much my visuals. I'm gonna be pretty much using just the differentiator of using the AI to create crazy visuals. My AI, by the way, is not only gonna be the animation. I'm also gonna experiment with other stuff, like I said, with backgrounds where it's me in the video and shit stuff is changing around me, all that kind of stuff. I have other visions that I want to create. So yeah, mainly through that, and then also the series. And then it's not just marketing I want to build that universe and that universe to kind of market itself. Another thing I've been considering doing is also making kind of the visual fragment like the one we showed on break, but for other artists and post it in my page. I'll be using the same animation style I'm using for my artist, for my visual fragments to theirs, so everybody knows that this is Wahhab's. That way I'll be able to kind of pull from their artists, from their fan base, and hopefully maybe even get their attention, maybe even get hired to create other visuals for other people, stuff like that. So just trying to find a way to promote it with those visuals.
Said maybe get hired. Are you also looking to help other people do the visuals?
Absolutely, I love helping artists. I love working with people. I love it's a way for me. Well, first of all, to make money. Everybody needs to make money. Streams don't pay. Even if I get 1 million streams right now, they don't pay enough to sustain an artist's lifestyle. So you have to kind of have diverse incomes or sources of income. But at the same time, I love helping artists. Like one of my main goals and one of the reasons again I chose music business is that once I've established my name in the market, I want to people to use my name, and I want to help people develop, or I want to use my name and reputation to develop other artists and promote them too. Since I would already have kind of an existing audience, I will already have connections with the industry, and so on. I want to help other artists to develop, but that's down the line. Once I've created my brand and my brand is out there and my name is big enough, that's when I want to take on other artists. I'll help them on my on my record. Of course, if anybody wants to hire me to help them, I'm absolutely willing to. I won't even charge that much, and I will help them create visuals. If you want creative direction with AI, if you want to set up your branding, that's why I'll do whatever an artist needs from you. And I'm already helping some of my friends free of charge just because they're my friends. As they I know they're artists and they need better like branding, need better some basic stuff that for me I just love doing. Or I should say W loves doing. Wahab is a different story. I'm Wahab today. But yeah, the business side of me, I enjoy branding very much. I enjoy developing artists. I want to kind of do like a development firm is the best way to promote it. But like once again, once I have reached the reputation I want to.
It's beautiful.
Yep.
It's amazing. Can you now you're doing a lot. You're very passionate, doing a lot. Is there a time where you wanted to stop but didn't?
Last night, the night before, the night before, the night before. Wanted. Wait, what do you mean wanted? Sorry, let me repeat. Repeat that.
Is there a time where you wanted to stop? You wanted to like doubt got the best of you?
No,
I
okay.
can't do this anymore.
No, sorry, that wasn't last night. Well, I guess it does also happen a lot, but I wouldn't say it's when I'm super passionate about the products I'm working on, but when I'm not, when I get into that burnout and I start kind of deviating away from creation, and whenever I'm consuming more than creating. I'll say this is the best way to put it. As humans, we are made to create, whether in whatever field you're in. But today, it's a very consumer-based market, and everybody wants you addicted to their products. especially phones and like social media and YouTube and all that stuff. So whenever I am consuming more than I'm creating, I get into that doubt. I get into that depression phase where what can I do next? What should I do? I lose myself. And I'm trying not to burn out in order not to get back to that.
I feel you. There's tough. It's tough to not burn yourself out,
Yeah.
especially with so much stuff going on, so much content available. It's hard to like kind of stay focused from time to time. But Wahab, you touched on a lot of stuff today. It's beautiful. Is there anything you wanted to touch on before we wrap up?
Maybe one last thing we can talk about is the merch, the merchandise. So I'll let me go through kind of what I went through. I already told you guys I created the whole fucking website and the whole website and the designs and everything in a week and a half. Before that week and a half, I knew nothing about graphic design, knew nothing about web design, and knew nothing about e-commerce, I would say is what you'd call it, because I'm selling stuff online at the end of the day.
Yes.
So I got myself very into that market in a week and a half. Hyper focus, the key, of course. No sleep. I wouldn't recommend that over anybody, but it helped. Stayed nights and nights with 2 hours of sleep, maybe 3. And I'd wake up. As soon as I wake up, as soon as my eyes are open, all I'm thinking about, jump back onto the laptop. I'm not gonna lie, there maybe is a week in there where I didn't shower. I forgot to shower. I'm being honest, but it's just because of how focused I am and how much I am locked in. And then I got by myself back into the normal state, of course, and I get myself into everything. So it's just like me locked in my room, working on it. I created the merch, and now finally got over that obstacle. And so let me tell you about that wall we were talking about.
Absolutely.
In the first section. Yeah. So I was not able to, pretty much I was stopped from being able to sell in Egypt. And for me, Egypt is the biggest market and the market I'm doing all this for. We have 120 million people, and I am trying to represent. And of course, the merch is available right now for people outside of Egypt, and anybody that wants to buy it on an international stage. But in order to create that reasonable price point for Egypt, and in order to create faster shipping in Egypt, I had to work with people in Egypt, and I had to find a way to receive payments in Egypt. And that was my biggest issue, or at least an issue I made for myself, because I wanted to have a payment gateway. And I was like, no, I won't work cash on delivery. And then I was like, all the Egypt right now, everybody's kind of doing merch brands, and they're all doing cash on delivery. Everybody's working like, so this is standard. It's standard in the industry now. And I was just into my mind to, like I said, making it professional because of how much effort I put into this and how much I saw this as professionally made. I was like, no, it has to all be professional, So right now I've decided finally last night, literally, that was a very, very stupid decision that put you back 6 months, and I haven't been able to promote, and I decided not to promote the merch and do all that myself. So now I'm past that obstacle. The merch is going to be available in Egypt within this month. I promise you that the merch in Egypt will be ready. Let me walk you through the designs. All the designs, as you can see, on the left, that is my W logo, or that is my Wahhab logo. That's my logo as an artist and as a business. All created by W, the little character, he's the business guy, right? So it's kind of inspired from football jerseys, soccer jerseys for my American audience, where it has the Nike logo or Adidas logo or whatever. This is not an ad. It's on the left, and then the badge of the club on the right. And then I added a little detail in the bottom right here where it says, first, the Egypt version will say Sonia fi Masr, which means made in Egypt, and then crafted by W, worn by W, and then the name of the product that you're wearing. So that's how the front identity for all the merch is going to look. So that way you have like a set anytime you see a shirt with that design on the front from afar, he's wearing a W t-shirt. And then from the back, each song has its own design. Right now, the t-shirts I have on right now, they're both for a song called Lama Lama. I'll read it. It's in Arabic. I'll read it for you guys. It's Arabic and English. So, baby, ya baby, inti law kunti nasibi, life would have been so easy, but you're a pain for teasy, Habibi. I can't understand, of course, because he speaks Arabic. Let me translate that for you, and that's part of the song. It's a verse inside the song. So baby, if you were my destiny, life would have been so easy, but you're a pain in my ass, Habibi. Design on the website. We already said it's mentioned below. It has all the different designs for the drops that I've made. I'll also be creating more designs and dropping them very soon. But this is drop one. I'm gonna keep drop one as it is. Drop two is gonna come soon. And merch, or in general, drop one finally will be available in Egypt, and then drop two will also be available and released shortly after. And yeah, all within. Let's give it a time. I don't want to rush, my perfectionism. So I would say definitely it should be out very soon.
Did you want to leave the audience with anything before we wrap anything up?
Get ready for this year, man. Oh my God, I have so much planned. You heard the sample of it. I'm telling you, every part of what I said today has its own, each lane on its own and its own project in my head. I promise you this year, well, I hope I promise myself this year that I will not burn out, and I will keep working. And I am only focused on creating that universe for my audience and not to capture new ones. You know what I mean? I want the new ones to come in. They're already late. Like I said, they're already not here. So this is for the people that are already here. They're the ones that are gonna watch it, get built step by step. The video I just released a couple of days ago is just my first ever project doing creative AI direction. It's what's gonna come from there. The tools are unbelievable nowadays, and my creativity finally has a way to express itself visually. Like I've always had that. I've been able to write what I think, but now my creativity visually is gonna take this to a whole new level, and I believe that I have good taste, I think, and I know my brand very well, and I know how to present it in a way. Finally, now that since I have the tools.
So beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being on Habibi Talks.
Habibi, I love the name, man. I love the name. I mean, it's very on brand. I'm glad that this is kind of my first full-on interview with somebody that we actually talk in depth about what's coming next.
Beautiful.
And very on brand for both of us. You're Habibi and you have a Habibi on your show, and I'm a Habibi on a Habibi show. So
Habibi on Habibi, we do.
Yes, sir. So
well, thank you so much for joining us on Habibi Talks. It's been fun. Thank you for Wahab for being here.
Thank you.
And remember, when you're here, you're Habibi.